The Halar Empire was known across the stars for its unmatched power and cold efficiency. For centuries, they had conquered planets and crushed rebellions without breaking a sweat. Their ships, sharp and elegant like knives of obsidian, drifted silently through space, bringing fear to every corner of the galaxy. No empire dared challenge them. That was, until they made the mistake of attacking a human vessel. It wasn't just any vessel, it was the USF Valiant, a ship that carried more than steel and firepower. It carried human defiance, innovation, and something far more dangerous, a will that refused to break. Every inch of the ship represented humanity's relentless spirit and their stubborn refusal to bow down, no matter how terrifying the threat. The Valiant was on a routine patrol near the outer rim of human-controlled space when it first detected the Halar fleet. Commander Sarah Anders, a woman with sharp eyes and a reputation for making impossible decisions, stood on the bridge as alarms blared. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing a fleet of Halar warships moving in tight, menacing formation, like predators closing in on their prey. "They're not supposed to be this close," Lieutenant Grant said, his voice tight with concern as his eyes scanned the readings. Sarah narrowed her eyes. "They're not here by mistake. They think we're weak. They think we'll break like the others." Within moments, the Halar ships opened fire, their plasma cannons lighting up the void with deadly precision. The Valiant shook violently as the first wave hit its shields, the shockwaves echoing through the metal skeleton of the ship. Sparks flew from control panels, and the crew scrambled to maintain control. "Return fire," Sarah commanded, her voice steady and unwavering. The ship's cannons roared to life, sending streaks of energy back toward the attackers with pinpoint accuracy. Target their flagship. "Let's show them what happens when you poke a bear." The Valiant wasn't the biggest or most advanced ship in the fleet, but humans had a habit of turning underdogs into legends. Every blast from the Valiant was calculated and vicious, aiming for weak points in the Halar ship's armor, places they hadn't even considered vulnerable. The Halar fleet soon realized this wasn't going to be an easy victory. The Valiant fought with a fury they had never encountered before. But the real surprise didn't come from the ship's weapon systems. It came from its crew. Humans were unpredictable, chaotic, and terrifying in their creativity. When the Halar attempted to disable the Valiant's engines with a precision strike, Chief Engineer Morales sprang into action. His hands worked furiously across the control panels, routing power through a series of manual overrides, keeping the engines alive despite catastrophic damage. "You think you can outfight us?" Morales muttered under his breath, wiping sweat from his brow as sparks showered the cramped engineering bay. "We're human. We adapt." Hours turned into a brutal standoff. The Valiant was battered, its hull scarred, and bleeding atmosphere from multiple breaches, but it refused to fall. The crew, though exhausted and injured, fought with unrelenting determination. Commander Anders knew they couldn't win by brute force alone. "Initiate the Nova Gambit," she ordered quietly, her voice low but steady. The bridge fell silent. Every crew member froze, understanding the gravity of her command. "Commander, that's a last resort," Grant said, swallowing hard. "It's our only shot," Sarah replied, her eyes never leaving the display of the Halar fleet. The Nova Gambit wasn't just a tactical maneuver, it was a message. The Valiant's core began to overload, creating an energy surge powerful enough to cripple anything within its blast radius. But instead of detonating the core, Sarah had devised another plan. They would use the energy surge to generate a massive electromagnetic pulse, EMP, disabling every Halar system nearby. "Brace for impact," Sarah ordered, her voice cutting through the tense silence as the countdown began. The Halar fleet, sensing the sudden energy spike, moved in for the kill, confident that the Valiant was making a desperate, suicidal move. But they didn't understand humans. This wasn't desperation, it was strategy. It was a calculated risk, forged in the fire of humanity's endless struggle for survival. The pulse hit like a tidal wave. In an instant, the Halar ships went dark, their once deadly systems fried and rendered useless. The once unstoppable fleet now drifted helplessly in the void, a graveyard of silent giants. The Valiant sat at the heart of the chaos, battered but alive, Smoke curled from shattered consoles, and the crew was weary beyond measure. But the spark of victory lit every heart on board. Sarah stood tall on the bridge, blood trickling from a cut on her temple, as her crew erupted into cheers. "Send a message to the Halar Empire," she said, voice cold as steel and heavy with triumph. "Humans don't break, we endure." Back in Halar territory, the defeat sent shockwaves through the Empire's high command. The once invincible fleet had been dismantled by a single human vessel, an outcome they had never considered possible. They had underestimated humanity, a mistake they would never make again. Whispers of the valiant stand spread through the galaxy like wildfire. The name became legend, a symbol of defiance and resilience. For the Halar, the message was clear. You can conquer worlds, you can break armies, but when you challenge humanity's spirit, you're the one who gets broken. The U.S. Valiant became more than just a ship. It became a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest hours, humanity's fire could never be extinguished. And across the stars, every empire, every conqueror, learned the same hard lesson: never underestimate the will of humanity.